Have you ever heard of napkin folding? Have you ever tried napkin folding? This little cloth has many ways to fold itself, and it can be used for like a party or get together. Napkins, again, have many ways to fold themselves into many different shapes. Like origami, it can get very complex and very tricky sometimes, like this. And it can get irritating sometimes, but I think it's fun and it's a little hobby or just maybe like a party trick. Today we're going to go over the history, the candy wrap fold, and its etiquette with napkins, and the benefits of it on both society and ourselves. So first off, we're going to go through the history. It started off in ancient Greece with a large cloth called mappa, used for eating while reclining to just wipe yourself off. Next up, we have the Middle Ages, where they completely forgot about it, so they just used their sleeves to wipe off their fingers or their faces. And then, during the Renaissance, it turned into a tablecloth for everybody to wipe themselves off with the same piece of fabric. And then in England, it came back in the shape of a diamond, the size depending on the party or event. And then in the 1700s, the men in the French court would use a cloth around their necks to protect their collars. And then the most important person in the room had their name embroidered on their napkin, and they would be the one to unfold their napkin and set it on their lap first, and then everybody else would follow suit. This is also the time in the 1800s that 30 by 36 inches napkins were actually introduced, and so were forks. Next up, we have the candy wrap fold itself. First off, we're going to flip it into like a diamond shape and then flip it horizontally. And we're going to fold the corners in and then fold it halfway back out to still get the crease, but just have it there. And then fold the middle part, bottom part up, and then fold the right side halfway in and then halfway out again. And same with the left side, and then we're going to fold the middle part inward to create that. And you can put little candies or even just little treats inside. That way when they pull the ends out, there's a little surprise for them. Now let's move on to the etiquette, because of course if you know how to fold a napkin, you should know how to handle a napkin in a formal setting. First off, you are going to want to keep it half folded still in your lap while you are eating. During drinks, you are going to want to blot your lips every time before you take a sip or drink of your beverage. And while you are leaving during your meal, make sure to put it on your chair. That way they know that you will be back. Do not tuck it in your shirt or wipe your face or teeth with it. Next up, you're going to want to put it onto the left of your plate if you are done with your meal, or if your plate has been cleared, you are going to want to put it in the middle of your setting. Now let's move on to the social benefits. It can help with design, atmosphere, and even visual appeal with this little piece of cloth. It can also help enhance the room, just it being there, by giving it more elegance. And you can even do this in places like birthday parties or even in a workplace setting like with your boss or even coworkers. Just to add a little bit more decor to the place. Now onto ourselves. This can be a hobby, just like origami. and it can be a way of stress relieving or just a way to fiddle with something, just to maybe mess around with it. And because it is so malleable and it has many different colors, sizes, shapes, textures to play around with, you can do many things with these little claws. Claws can be very cool in more ways than just one. While it can clean yourself off during a meal, it can also be a little fun thing to fidget around with and make many different shapes and sizes. So let's go over what we went through with this little piece of cloth. We went through the history of it, dating back even to ancient Greece. Then we did the candy wrap fold ourselves. And then we did the effects on society and ourselves. I hope you enjoy this little cloth as much as I do in the future. Thank you for listening.